Congressman Bright, good to see you again here in Montgomery. Thank you. Where's the pastor? He's cooking. Pastor Morris, thank you for cooking. Thank each and every one of you for being here. Mr. Representatives, State Representatives, thank you for sponsoring the luncheon. President, City Council, it's good to be back in Montgomery one more time. This is Abernathy. It is good to be back here one more time. It is good to be in First Baptist Church one more time. I first came here. Can you hear me if I move around?
Take the mic.
Well, I just want to, I first came to this church, to First Baptist Church, to this church, came to this church the very first time in March of 1958. 18 years old, had all of my hair, and a few pounds lighter. I came here, a young attorney by the name of Fred Gray had stopped and picked me up at the Greyhound bus station a short distance from here and drove me to this church. Martin Luther King Jr. had invited me to come here to meet with him. I was ushered into the basement of the church, went to the pastor's study, and I saw Ralph Abernathy and Martin Luther King Jr. You must keep in mind, Reverend Ralph Abernathy was the pastor of the church. Martin Luther King Jr. and Ralph Abernathy were standing behind a desk. And Dr. King saw me coming in, and he said, as I said yesterday, "Are you the boy from Troy? Are you John Lewis?" And I said, "I'm John Robert Lewis." That was my first time coming to this church. I didn't know then, Father, that one day, a few years later, that I would get on a Greyhound bus from Nashville, Tennessee, coming on a Freedom Ride, on Saturday morning, about 10:30, coming through Birmingham, where we had been put in jail, and later, on Wednesday, May 17, 1961, Bull Connor stopped the bus at the city limit of Birmingham and asked to see our tickets. Bull Connor was the police commissioner. And our tickets read from Nashville to Birmingham, Birmingham to Montgomery, Montgomery to Jackson, Mississippi, and from Jackson to New Orleans. He let all the other regular passengers off the bus and kept all of us on the bus. The bus was covered, the windows were covered by cardboard and newspapers, back and front, the windshield, so the news people and photographers could not see us inside of the bus. He kept us on the bus for more than an hour and a half, and then he made a decision to place us in protective custody. Took us off the bus and took us to the Birmingham City Jail, where we stayed in that Wednesday night, all day Thursday night, and Friday morning about 4 o'clock, Commissioner Bull Connor came back up to our cells and said he was taking us back to Nashville in several cars. Got to the Alabama-Tennessee state line, and he said, "We're going to let you out here." We didn't know what was going to happen. We made a call to Nashville and Diane Nash, one of the students' leaders, they asked in a car to pick us up. The car drove us back to Birmingham, where we met with Bernard Lafayette and 11 other students. We tried to get on the bus at 5 o'clock that Friday afternoon. Reverend Shuttleworth and others And the bus driver was afraid to drive. He said, I have only one life to give. I'm not going to give it to CORE or the NAACP. He refused to drive. We stayed in the Greyhound bus station all night in Birmingham. Bobby Kennedy, the Attorney General, was negotiating with Greyhound to get us out of Birmingham. The arrangement was made that we would leave Birmingham at 8:30. We arrived here about 10:30. 21 of us by then. On Saturday morning, May 20th. I traveled this way so many times. When we started down the steps off the bus, it was a strange and eerie feeling. It was so quiet, it was so peaceful. And out of nowhere, an angry mob that grew to several hundred started beating members of the press. If you had a camera, a pencil, and a pad, you were in trouble. They were destroying photographers, cameras, members of the press, that pads, and then they turned on us and beat us. My seatmate was a young white student named Jim Spur. He was from Beloit College in Wisconsin. He was an exchange student at Fisk. The two of us were beaten, left lying unconscious in a pool of blood. Dr. Abernathy and Dr. King were on a trip